They're all in. Clear. They're off. The Group 2 Boodles Yorkshire Cup, a field of 7 breaking out to race over 1 3/4 miles. Nobody in any great haste early on. There was no guaranteed pace setter. Amiloc, perhaps on sufferance, finds himself in front. Pale Jacket leads at the end of a furlong and a half and is now being allowed to stride on by Roger Varian. Extends the advantage over Nayyir heading the chase. Rahiebb, yellow with the black epaulets, in 3rd place. And then further down at the rail, the mauve cap for Will Buick. Tarian's pink cap is racing out wide of Epic Poet in the shades of blue. And the nose-bounded Nayyir at the back of the field. They've completed 3 furlongs. And having got to the front, Amiloc with ears pricked is dictating. Well grouped in behind. Nayyir in the leader's slipstream. Amiloc, you sense, just having a good look around him as they go past the stables at the end of half a mile. Rahiebb is right in behind the leading pair in 3rd place, just ahead of Further. And then Epic Poet, and Nayyir makes a position relegating Tarian's to be last of the 7. Amiloc leading them across the far side of the Knavesmire, over Nayyir, shadowed by Rahiebb. And then Firth of the rail, accompanied by Epic Poet in the light blue. Nose-bounded Nayyir last but one, and Tarian's firmly in touch. They're heading to halfway in the Group 2 Boodles Yorkshire Cup, and having led from a very early stage, Amiloc has set under Roger Varian a very even gallop thus far. He's being allowed to do things on his own terms. Nayyir and James Doyle at the leaders' quarters, and Firth are now going 3rd under Will Buick. Rahiebb in 4th place in the hands of Ray Dawson. Nayyir in the noseband. Cam Hardy getting up on the inner of Epic Poet and Danny Tuthope, and Tarian and Colin Keane remain at the tail of the field as they head to the crown of the turn and the last 5 furlongs, the final 1,000 metres or so of the Boodles Yorkshire Cup, and it's Amiloc leading Nayyir. Further will turn in just 3rd ahead of Rahiebb, and then Nayyir to Epic Poet in the light blue, weighted with Tuthope. He's patient aboard last year's runner-up, and Tarian's another waiting in the wings. Down the straight they come, on towards the last half mile, clustering far side of centre. Amiloc, Nayyir within a half length. Here comes Rahiebb down the centre. Further just becoming a little outpaced as Epic Poet in the shades of blue is nursed into this, just angling out of the slipstream of Amiloc. Tarian's on the right is being asked to close. Amiloc just wandering around a little. 1/4 mile to go. Rahiebb on the left, one from the right, Epic Poet. Nayyir with the red cap is battling on, and then Tarian, and Rahiebb has moved through. Amiloc is beaten in a matter of strides, weakens away. It's Rahiebb in front inside the furlong. Nayyir and Epic Poet are challenging. Rahiebb is leaning left, but is staying on powerfully, and it's going to be a breakthrough group race success for Rahiebb in the Boodles Yorkshire Cup over Nayyir and Epic Poet. Further was disputing 4th with Tarian. Amiloc dropped away. Nayyir was last.
Might just have a new stair on the block, a new kid on the block after Rahiebb has just bolted up in the Boodles Yorkshire Cup. Roger Varian joins us. I know he was good last year as a 3-year-old placing in the St Ledger, but that was really smart to see him back today.
Yeah, it was a lovely performance. You know, it was obviously it was a good watch. He's a lovely horse. He's done so well over the winter. He finally sort of looks like he's getting towards a finished article. You know, he's a big late maturing horse who you know looks the part now, and you know, we've been happy with him. Yeah. You're never quite sure until you run, of course, but I was delighted with what I saw.
And doing the size of him, doing the high level he had at 3, and the way he's trained on now, obviously the Ascot Gold Cup is the logical step.
I think so. You know, we sort of dreamt over the winter that he could be a cup horse. You know, after that fine run in the St Ledger, he stays well and he's got a lot of class. He's pretty versatile when it comes to ground. You never quite know when you go Ascot Gold Cup distance, but I wouldn't be put off having a go. But, you know, away from Ascot, we hope he develops into, you know, one of those, you know, cup horses who can turn
around for a few seasons.
Yeah, turn up and, you know, compete at the highest level. You know, he's still got to take on, you know, the better horses. You know, today was a nice race, but it wasn't, you know, a Group 1. But I think what he showed in the Ledger last year, when he was only just getting the hang of it, and the manner of his win today gives us hope.
Yeah, and Ray was saying that he's grown into a bit of a man. He could be a playboy at home, but he's really developing the way you want him.
Yeah, he's always been a handful, to be honest, at home. He's hard work sometimes, and big shout out to Tony Proctor, who rides him every day or puts up with him every day, whatever, you know, term you want to use. But he is a handful at home, but you can't help but like him. He's got a lot of character, very tough horse. But actually, when he came today, and it can be challenging here coming across an Knavesmire, you know, we saw at times last year as a 3-year-old him borderline not get it right on race day, but I was really impressed with him today. So hopefully he's not only matured physically but mentally as well.
And what about Ray? It's been a big season. Obviously, you put your faith in him, and he's repaying you.
Well, he's a very good jockey, and I think he deserves his chances, and he's going to get a few chances this year. And he's riding well. He's ridden us some nice winners already. You know, we're only just getting going. So, no, we're a big fan of Ray, and he gave that horse a beautiful ride today. It looked easy on the television, but it wasn't. You know, he could have gone too soon, or you know, he just rode him with a lot of maturity, a lot of patience, and you know, hopefully it's a sign of things to come.
Delighted for him, delighted for you. He's an exciting young horse. Very best of luck with him.
Thank you. Cheers.
The Boodles Yorkshire Cup has went away of Rahiebb and Ray Dawson on board. That's a massive, massive win. Very well done.
Yeah, we're thrilled. You know, he's a hard horse to gauge because he's such a character at home. Some days he's as good as gold and he works really well. Some days he's like a naughty schoolboy and he's not a nice horse to ride at home, to be honest. So we came here knowing that he had strengthened up. Had he improved from his St. Ledger run, and could he improve going forward? But the feel he's given me there was completely different to the Ledger. He felt like a horse that stays well, but also has gears. So very exciting.
Lastly, for a 4-year-old, you mentioned the Ledger run, but he could be the new kid in the block. He's obviously in the Ascot Gold Cup, and to go there would be massive.
Yeah, that's where he's heading. You know, he's going to go for all these cup races. I think he'll just keep getting better. His mind in racing today, he was spot on. He was perfect. So, you know, and he's obviously improved from last year. He's a bigger, stronger animal, and just very, very privileged to be riding him, really.
And about you've won a Group 2 Lowther before, but this feels bigger?
I think it is probably bigger. In terms of 2-year-olds, it's obviously a big race, but this is for future. Yeah. You know, these big gold, they're very popular races, aren't they? So a lot of famous horses have won this race in the past, and he looks like a horse that's going to be very competitive in all these Gold Cup sort of races. So, yeah, I say this is probably my biggest winner to date, and hopefully he can go and get that Group 1 for me. For
Roger, obviously, you've built that bigger relationship, if you like, this year.
Yeah, Roger's been a great boss to me and a good friend of mine as well off the horses. So, you know, it's great to always ride in big winners. And same with His Highness Sheikh Ahmed. He's been a big supporter of the two of us. Yeah, it's just a big moment, really.
Yeah. Delighted for you. Very well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
We have a very talented young stayer on our hands. Rahiebb has won for Roger Varian and Ray Dawson at 4-1. He ended last season on high with an excellent second, rallying second to Scandinavia in the St. Ledger, and he might prove a great threat to that horse in cup races this season. He's got an Ascot Gold Cup entry, but he was good enough to be able to win this 14-furlong Group 2. Nayyir was second for James Doyle and Tom Clover, and third was Epic Poet for Danny Tedhope and David O'Mara, giving this form a solid look. The dependable older stayers running their races in second and third. Let's take a look at the head-on. The horse at the moment, third from the left, rolling around, is the long-time leader, Amiloc, and he's still quite quickly brushed away. But I do think that the winner, Rahiebb, although he's won quite comfortably in the end, he continues to roll left. He's inconvenienced Nayyir a bit. He's then just nudged into Epic Poet, and it continues. I'm not suggesting it's going to change the result. No. I'm just interested in how it informs it.
Yes, yeah, no, that's right. He was definitely shifting across, but 2 3/4 lengths, I think it was, at the line. Really smart, wasn't it? Performance from Rahiebb, who just got better and better and better and better all the way through his 3-year-old season, and now he's got better again by another chunk, I would say, to coming down the 2 doughty, solid yardsticks in second and third that are Nayyir and Epic Poet. So it's a very smart performance from him. Amiloc was disappointing. Roger Varian went to the front. We thought that may happen. It had the potential to be that way. He was happy to do it. Maybe it didn't suit Amiloc, potentially. It's the first time in his life that he's disappointed, and whatever the reason, there'll be a reason, I'm sure, and I'm sure he will bounce back given his previous consistency. But the winner is clearly very good, isn't he?
He very much is. Now, Amiloc over races at the start. I mean, Roger Varian is trying to settle him. He eases into the front, and it's easy to think that Amiloc hasn't been suited by this. I think I'd be open-minded about it.
Yeah, I would be inclined to be forgiving of it, given that they've changed tactics. He's definitely, he's not like running loose or anything, is he? But he's just, sometimes they don't get into quite as good a rhythm when they haven't got something to follow, and he just seems to be racing a little bit overly exuberantly for a horse running over 1.6 miles extended distance on a big galloping open track like this, and he's probably left himself a little bit dry in the latter stages. So given his overall record coming into this season, I would be pretty forgiving of that from Amiloc and expect him to bounce back. But Ray Dawson got Rahiebb nicely relaxed in behind, not too far away. He's ridden him with confidence. He's stayed on stoutly. I've no doubt whatsoever that he'll stay a longer distance than this. Whether he stays the extreme of a 2.5 mile at Royal Ascot, you don't really know that until you see it, do you? Because it is so very different to anything that he's faced before. But I'm sure he'll be effective over 2 miles nonetheless.
Well, given he's settled so well here and been so straightforward, and we were talking about how fresh and active he was in the paddock beforehand, and whether that might translate to the race, and it didn't at all.
No, it didn't at all. No, he's every chance of staying. But
yes. I mean, I think he wants at least 2 miles.
Yes, yeah. You'd expect there to be another bit of improvement when he goes up further, wouldn't you? Really. And he's a big, robust horse who didn't debut until early in his 3-year-old season. So he's almost, you know, he's a horse only in his 2nd year of racing, and there could be a huge future with him as a stayer, couldn't there? And you know, he's one of those horses that has the potential to hit really significant heights, and then if you hit them and you win your Group 1, we've seen it plenty of times where the staying scene has been dominated by a horse. Well, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that this is the next one on that ladder.
Yeah, he's certainly going to be a threat. Scandinavia, of course.
Yes,
still around.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who beat him in St Ledger.
It's actually shaping up to be a very strong division, which is great, isn't it? Because it often in the last 10, 15 years, there's been one horse dominating, and then a whole host of second raters who are still very good horses but not on the same level, and you get the division dominated. Whereas if you get 2 or 3 or 4 in genuine competition with each other, it makes the whole of the staying scene burst into life again, and maybe that's going to happen, and certainly Rahiebb will be part of it. So will Nayyir and Epic Poet on a different level. They've run right up to their best form again.
Bits more encouragement from Tarriance, maybe just a little bit, not for this kind of grade.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think the grade, he's yeah, they were going
that's
wild.
Great, they were.
Yeah,
that's lovely to see. Fantastic.
About 3 furlongs out, it turned into there was about 5 different sets of connections all erupt in front of the screen.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, they drew into a line, didn't they?
Did.
And at one point, you were thinking, well, where is the winner going to come from? And then you saw the inevitable surge from Rahiebb. Roger Varian, of course, having had very decent horses, has won the St Ledger with Kingston Hill and with Elderov.
Yeah, and he's got a horse here who they'll be able to look forward to what he can do over this season, and you know, maybe future years as well. He could be on the scene for a good while.
Hope so. What price do you think, if he was, which he was with Unibet 10-1 for the Ascot Gold Cup, what price do you think he is now?
6.
7s.
7.
See, I could suffer shorter after that performance. I mean, do I think he's seriously enhanced his credentials? Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's an improved. I think it is an improved performance again for him. I mean, there'll be people that may argue differently, because you've got Epic Poet rated 110 in 3rd, and Rahiebb came into it rated 115. So has he enhanced that form significantly? But I think it proves that he's trained on. It proves what he did in the St Ledger wasn't a one-off, and he was well on top at the line, and there is that added potential for him to get better again over a longer distance. And
just also how he went through the race, I think it shows that he is an improved, more mature performer.
Yeah, I think official ratings, they might nudge him up a small amount, but it's not going to be significant from what he was, but he's still got scope to get better and better.
Well, that's what Watson and I think. Let's find out.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.